I love that Kim mentioned Alex Eala because I know you two are besties. But I will also say I watched your vlog that you shot a few weeks ago, and you appeared to be besties with pretty much everyone. You were tight with Maya Joy. You were talking to Dasha Kazakina. Who else was in that one? Priscilla Hahn. So many. Ayla Tomjanovic. So are you a player who
No, yeah, girlhood forever. So it's just, we're in this together. Like, we see each
right?
other more than we see our families, basically. So why not be friends, And with Alex, we're very close. Like it's not like we're just friends just in tennis. Like we're friends like even outside of tennis. Like we talk a lot. We try to spend some time together, which is not very easy, but yeah, we met in, I would say, 2021, around that, and since then, like, we're very good friends. And I love to be friends with all of them because, like, it's just like the struggles that we go through and the problems that we face, like it's like very similar. And I always tell them, like, if you guys need me, I don't know for what you would need me for, but like I'm always here. Like if I can do anything, I would love to,
feel like I
because
played in the wrong era, Blair.
I know.
it's not like that.
No, not at all. I feel like I was the weirdo. Like if I was trying to talk to like potential opponents or, like half and talk in the locker room. And yeah, it was just like, it was really not, it didn't happen that often in the early 2000s, I would say.
It's just good to, like support each other. Yeah, support each other. And sometimes I struggle with something like in Abu Dhabi, I played against Alex, and day before the match, we went on a dinner together, and we talked about life for like 3 4 hours. And I don't care, like we played against each other the next day, and after the match everything was fine too, because
Yeah.
it's just a match. I don't really, of course, like she wants to win, I want to win, like we both know this, but in the end of the day we're friends. And it's for me, it's not a problem to be like to play against each other and to be friends at the same time.
Yeah. There's a few girls I feel like back in the day that had that mindset, but then there were others that were like not even look at you for like, the first week of a Grand Slam, knowing that potentially in the quarterfinals you could play each other. Like they would avoid you, they didn't want to hit with you. Like it was, yeah, definitely very different. So, yeah, but I love hearing that, is to have that support and to be able to talk to the girls about, what's happening off court while you're away with them. Because I realized like when I had my daughter and I would go, pick up my daughter from school, and I would talk to like the moms at school, like it's great. And like we have that connection there, but there's really nobody who knows what it's been like for me growing up, right? Like unless you've been there. And then when I would play the Legends events and I would talk to Martina Hingis and I would talk to Cara Black and like all the women that are playing, and we're all like, yes, like we understand each other. We know what it takes. We know like the struggles, the great parts about it. And you're absolutely right. That's, we're closer a lot of times because you travel with these women for week in, week out for years, and more than times you see your own family.
Exactly.
If you had to describe your personality in 3 words, what would the 3 words be?
I would say I'm a strong person. Like I'm
It can
easy.
be more than 3 words. We have no rules here at Love All. We
No.
we can go over 3 words.
Okay, I'm easygoing.
Okay, easygoing.
I mean, I don't know if my team thinks that when I'm on the court, but outside of court. and and I think I'm very passionate about the things that I do.
That's great. Easygoing,
Great
strong, and passionate.
combination.
But I'm strong. I would say, like, it's like, I can, even if I struggle with something a lot, I feel like I always remind myself, it's gonna pass. Like, it's gonna be fine. So I feel like it gives me strength to think like that.
think the sport of tennis also teaches us that, right? Like it's you can play, a few bad games, but you just have to let it go and come back and kind of forget about,
What were
you know,
you doing?
yeah.
Can I get some like help? How would you like it? Let's turn it around. It's like, how would you deal with like losses and all the expectations and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I the expectation I think I struggled with in the beginning, especially because I think Justine Henin and I, like we had both being from Belgium, and like we came up together and started playing some big matches in the Grand Slams against each other. And so that added another dimension of attention that I wasn't used to, or pressure that I wasn't used to. Very relatable to what you said, like the people who are closest to you, like I didn't want to let them down. I've almost felt worse for my team than I did for myself when I lost. But it was, just as I got older and I got, used to saying no a little bit more, right? Like become comfortable with saying no and knowing what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do. And I was very heartbroken after losses, but I was able to use it in the practice to become better and to work harder and really dissect, like, okay, with my team, like, what do I have to get better on? Is it physically? If I want to be able to beat Serena, what do I need to be better at? And I have to become faster. I have to become more accurate with my serve. And so you start picking out, a few points here and there, or a few, issues that I felt that I was lacking against, different players. I mentioned Serena, but against Justine, it was something else. Against Venus, it was something. Against Sharapova, against Davenport. And you just try to add all those things and just try to be better over time. And one of the biggest mindsets after a while was that, I realized, like, and it's easier, it's easy to read something when people say like pressure is a privilege, right? Like it's easy to read that. You see it when you walk out on court at the US Open, but until you have experienced it, like until I felt it, it's almost like, people think highly of you and they expect you to win because you have the results to back it up, because they think that you can beat these players. And I think once you start talking like that to yourself as well, it takes a little bit of the pressure away. And that's kind of, I think, the mindset that I got as I got older. It's easier to talk about it all now that I'm, many years out of my career, but it's in the process, like I just had to learn to turn off my tennis brain at times and really, have fun. And I had friends on tour, or brought like friends from Belgium with me, on tour so that I could really kind of just have a little bit of normal life while I was traveling on the road.
I'm going to take some notes down for sure.
It's a process, like, and it doesn't happen all at once, right? Like I feel like there's definitely different stages in my life or in my tennis career where I felt like I really got better emotionally and mentally. Like now looking back, like I lost my first 4 Grand Slam finals before I won my first one. So after a while, like every press conference was about, do you think you're too nice to win? Like, shouldn't you be meaner against your opponents? Should you like, why can you beat your opponents in the smaller tournaments, but you can't do it at a Grand Slam? So those kind of things, like after a while, you try to kind of leave them in the media room, but then you start thinking about it a little bit too, and you take them with you. And but I know now that just mentally, I wasn't ready to win a Grand Slam. I just wasn't ready because I was so overwhelmed by the occasion, where it would almost like paralyze, my arm and my legs, and I just wasn't playing freely out there anymore. And that was at times the most disappointing part, is that I wasn't able, when you want to show your best tennis, is in that moment, and you want to give the crowd a good final and the tournament a good final and the people watching on TV like a fun match. But I just felt like in those matches I just wasn't able to bring my best tennis, and that was the most disappointing part. So I kind of told myself over and over again, just keep trying and give yourself those opportunities, because you can't practice being nervous, in a Grand Slam final, or seeing the trophy on the side of the side of the court and realizing you're so close. And but there's different stages, and you'll experience that as well. Is like, okay, the second week of a Grand Slam, like that, there's a different feel to the tournament when you get to those stages. And but it's all part of I think the growth process, and and becoming a better tennis player, but also like you were talking about with your coach Isam, like he's teaching you things that you didn't even think about. And that's, those are moments where I also felt like, oh, I never thought about this before. Like I'm learning something new, and I'm taking that with me to the next tournament, and I'm going to try to do some things a little bit differently. And you learn from other players. You see things, I saw Monica Seles practice at 6:30 in the morning because there were no courts. I was like, oh, that makes sense, right? Like you can see her practicing. And so from there on, I started, booking my court at 7 a.m. so I could have an hour and a half, of practice by myself and work on the things that I wanted to work on without being interrupted or without being with 4 on a court.
Yes, exactly.
We're going to change the name of the podcast to Life Lessons with Kim Clijsters.
Yeah, no, we definitely have to cut a lot from that last part.
No, that's great.
Yes. No, please not.
No.
For the tennis nerds who listen to the show, Zeynep, we were wondering if you could maybe go through some of your matches with, I'm going to name some players and have you tell us what makes them so challenging to play and what they do so well. Kind of give us a little breakdown. And I'd love to start with your friend Alex, because you guys played each other recently. I assume you practiced together. What does she do so well that gives so many people a hard time?
First of all, she plays very close to the line, I think. She's playing very aggressive, and she's a lefty, so it's difficult for a lot of players because, like, she can open up, she can use the angles, but at the same time she can hit the ball very flat and heavy, like, fast. So you always feel like you don't have so much time against her. You feel like you have to create something before she does, and
rushed.
sometimes you rush because of that. So you have to, like, maybe like when I was like playing against her, like, I was feeling like, okay, she's hitting the ball very fast and she's taking the ball very early, so I felt like I had no time. So I was trying to go to middle deep more, to like neutralize, because then she doesn't have angle. And so to play against her, it's difficult because she's playing very close to line and very aggressive. And whenever she has the chance, she can create an angle. So she's not someone who's just playing like down the lines or like flat, deep balls, but she can also use the angle. So you have to cover all the court basically, and you have to do it very fast. And the balls are very low too. So you have to be down and low, and to be like, you need to be ready for those hard shots.
Do you like to practice with her? Do you practice together a lot when you're at the same event?
We do practice, not a lot, but we do practice together. I like to practice with her because it's like you
good
have
rhythm, right?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
yes, exactly. And to play with her, like to rally with her, like you get a good rhythm when you're hitting with her, and it's fun.